Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. We're gonna have a great show today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's just jump right into it. Let me pull my man up, Howie Bell, in the building. Howie, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, my brother. How you doing, Frank?
I'm all right, man. Look like your Wi-Fi working good today, bro. That's what I like. That's what I like. I like to see that. I like
Hey,
to see that.
today's a good day. Hey, look, I've been around the crib for 2 days in a row. I got the same shirt on from yesterday. That's how good I feel.
There it
I'm
is.
getting shit done.
Right. Mo, another comedian in the building. Maurice Smith. Mo, how you doing, sir? How's
What's
everything?
going on? What's going on, fellas?
What up, though?
It's good to see
All
both of
right.
y'all. Wait for man Jason to come in, man. But while we wait for Jason Hayes, the filmmaker, to come in, there we go, right there. Jason Hayes, the filmmaker in the building. Jay, how you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm good. I just want y'all to know that y'all cutting into my Cat Williams viewing time on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You got to explain that, man, a little later. We got to talk about that.
Yeah.
I was just watching something what Cat Williams said just now. So, we're going to have to talk about that in a little bit. We're going to talk about that. All right, so let's get ready to jump to some of these stories, man. Let me pull up my stuff on my right-hand side. Howie Bell, you go first, bro. You're gonna obviously we're gonna talk to Howie Bell first. Let's pull up Howie right here. So the first thing is, man, I don't know if you guys heard this story, but I talked about it last week. But former NBA player Ben McLemore literally got sentenced yesterday. Last week I mentioned that he got charged, he had court and everything else. He got sentenced to 8.5 years in Oregon State prison yesterday. Because he got found guilty of raping and sexually assaulting a 21-year-old woman. And this was at a house party way back in 2021. And Howie Bell, we all know how these NBA players get down. We already know how, the women get down and everything else, man. I thought it was hilarious, the simple fact, but how you not go there and not realize what you get into. It's sad that this dude threw his life away like this. You know what I mean? But what's your take on this, Howie?
I know we talked about this before. I know we thought he was going to get more time than that, I believe, like 20
Yeah,
or
he was
something like
facing
that.
20 years. He was facing 20 years, yeah.
So, I guess if you can look at the silver lining, at least he didn't get 20. But I'll say this, 8.5 years is a lot of time for him to sit down and think about what the hell he did wrong, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, that's enough time to literally destroy everything you built over the last whatever many amount of years of your life. Your parents been helping you develop your skill set to do whatever you got to do to get into professional sports, and for you to get in this situation is sad. Now, with that being said, I hope that this girl ain't lying. Man, it could, because they could still find out, his attorneys, if he has good ones, can still kind of dig and appeal and do all these things. So, I just hope that, man, the brothers, please, man, I'm begging y'all, man. A lot of these women don't have good intentions, bro. They just don't, man. And when you get the bag, run, run, run and go to the house like me, get in the man cave and wear the same shirt 2 days in a row. Get out of there. Quit trying to be in the streets. You got your money in your pocket. Bro, I ain't spent no money in 2 days. You know how happy I am? I ain't spent no money in 2 days. That's a win.
Bro, so, or date the girl you was dating in high school. You know what I mean? Like go
or date the girl you was dating in high school. Right. Date the ones that like you or really loved you and cared for you. You trying to run after these so-called dime pieces, and they're not doing anything but taking y'all, man, for a long ride, as Scarface will say. You know what I'm saying? Taking for a long ride, my friend. So you can't.
Scarface impression.
Yeah, that's my Scarface. You're taking for a long ride. And so, you gotta.
It's a better accent than Al Pacino's.
Gotta tell you.
It's more big than his was. Leave Scarface alone, Jay.
Yeah.
All right, but Bo, let me see what's your thought on this, man? Because at the end of the day, the brother literally threw away his life. You know what I mean? That's the way you can say it. He got 8.5 and change. The crazy part is that it looked like he did all this while he was traveling with the team, with the Phoenix Suns. That's what I was like, wow. So, they went up to Portland, ended up going to a house party while he was there in Portland. It's insane to me, bro. Like, what's your thing on this, Mo? How you looking at it?
I'm like I said. I think last time we had this conversation about this, I think it went the same way. How he said something, and I was right behind him with I agree. But He got 8.5 years. He better sit down, Howie, to see, because he ain't gonna be doing no thinking.
He ain't gonna be sitting down either.
He ain't gonna be sitting down either. He better get ready for. He better get ready for the Thunderdome. Oh, you like to take it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on and popping. You like to take it? Well, we're gonna show you some takers.
Yeah.
So I hope his knuckle game is up to par. You know, and see what should have happened was he should have got that Pippin in his life. He would have had to worry about that, but he didn't want to do that.
It was right there too, Mo. It was right there. Like he was right there for him. It was right there. He was an NBA player. It was literally right there. You know what I mean? Jay, what's your take on this, bro?
He is very, very lucky that he's a former NBA player.
Yeah. And what's it?
Because any other black dude in Oregon that did what he did, whatever that match was, he'd have got that running consecutively.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but as a filmmaker, I'm gonna give them some advice. Hey, how you've been on sets, right? Frank, you've been on sets.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you got to do before we take one shot of you?
You got
to sign a release form.
You sure do.
Yeah.
I would have my lawyers draft a release form, and I'll be traveling with them in my backpack. Before we do this, I need you to sign, check off what you're gonna let me do and what you're not.
And why not though?
Listen, it's almost come there at this point. Yeah. But let me preface this. I believe her. I believe he did what she said he did. Right? I believe her. I believe the jury got it right. They sat and listened because I've met some creepy dudes, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of creeps out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and the way it went down, like she was asleep, and the way I'm like, yeah, I know some dudes who would do that. You know what I'm saying? So, but as a dude who once got arrested only one time in my life, I was in the Fulton County jail for 8 hours. And I knew right then I was not cut out for crime, baby. I swore right there, bro, I would never, ever, ever go to prison because, man, 8 hours was too much, man. 8.5 years, that's a long time in jail, bro.
Yeah, it's a long
time.
It's a long time. All right, so let's move on with the next story, man. I don't know if you guys heard this one, man. Denver Nuggets star Nikola Jokic basically is in the news because what did he say? He said he is not going to seek a contract extension and he's going to delay all those talks into next summer. He got 3 years remaining on his 5-year contract, $276 million extension into basically he signed summer 22, 3-time MVP, player option for the year worth $62 million in 27-28. So how it looked like this to me. It looked like he wanted to give them one more year and see how things pan out. If not, next year he can opt out his contract and he could literally be a free agent. Now, I don't know how you taking that, Howie, but I'm gonna take it as this, the way I see it. I think he's done with Denver. He just want to give them a fair shot and say, I'm giving y'all one more year. I think that's what he's doing. But I think he sees the writing on the wall. How you see it, Howie?
I'm with you. I'm all the way with you on this one. He may even leave before that. The way this sounds, and this is news to me, but this don't look good for Denver at all.
Yeah.
He's not happy. He's not happy. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't want Denver to take it for a long ride, my friend. All right. And so I think the Joker's saying, hey man, look, bro, y'all gotta boo-boo or get off the pot. And it may be sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? By the way that sounds. He wants to win. He's a winner. He's one of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I will give you this, Howie. By him saying that he now knows that Denver could trade him by the trade deadline, which is February. So I do agree with what you're saying. And so I throw that out there. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I agree with that statement you made because he could be out by February. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Could you imagine him going to the Lakers?
Yeah.
Nah,
I don't see it. Because of what they have to give. You know what I mean? Like the only way he's going to be able to go to a team, he got to be able to go to a team that financially can afford him, right? That's the biggest thing. because if some teams he'll make them fall in the second eight.
You don't think the Lakers will have enough money? And I'm just
if Bron retires, yes, I can see it.
I can't right now. I can't because
say that again. Say that again.
When LeBron retires, where's he gonna play at? What position?
There we go. You just said if LeBron retired. There we go.
Right.
See, this is what I'm saying. That's why I brought that up. Because that might be
this year. He's not retiring this year. So I said in the middle of the season.
But there may be a situation where they bring him in even before LeBron leaves because they know he's leaving.
But they won't be able to afford to be able to do that to him because the second eight, they'll push him well into the second eight because of how much money he's gonna get. So the Lakers are automatically off the table with the money that they got. They automatically off the table. Now, if you were to say to me at the end of next season, after LeBron retired, I'd be like Jay said, okay, I could literally see that could make sense. But
from a financial standpoint, they just can't afford it.
Right. Right now we're talking mid-season. And in order for them to take that on, you got to push stuff out for them to take that on for the money to work. You know what I mean? And the money.
If I was his agent, I say hold out, stay with Denver, and they go to the Lakers because the Lakers is probably where you want to go. You want to go out there with listen, bro. They will become.
He cares about that, but I hear what you're saying. I don't think he cares about the limelight. And all. Matter of fact, I think he's the complete opposite. When they won the championship, he was one of the first people. He didn't even want to go to the parade because he was already, clear across. So I don't think he wants to go to the flash and I don't think he wants to do all that. I think he wants to go to a good team, no matter who it is, and win an NBA championship. That's what I think. You know what I mean? That's what I think. Mo, what you think? What's your take, Mo? What you think his stand is on this?
I mean, he's giving them the ultimatum. Like, listen, get it right. Shape up or ship out. Mm-hmm. All the chips are in the middle of the table right now. That's what he's saying. But I know one thing. I know that Frank don't want him to get traded in the middle of the season. Frank want him to ride the whole year out, so he'll sign in Boston.
No, I don't think he'd be able to. Again, he won't be able to sign in Boston because Boston's just literally under the second apron right now. You know what I mean? Boston Celtics couldn't afford him if he was the continent unless they got rid of him.
Where could he go? So my thing is this: where could he go?
That's pretty funny. You should ask. That's pretty funny. You should ask. It's pretty funny. You should ask. What team do you think I'm thinking of where he could go, where they could mix and match, get rid of one player, and he would financially be able to make mid-season? Gee, I wonder who that team would be.
I would take that. That I would take. You're damn right. That one I'll take. Over KD, I'll take that one.
I know you would, because you know what?
I'll take Luka. Yeah, I'll take Luka.
It would financially make sense for the Knicks to be able to take him, but they'd have to get rid of Cat, and they would have no problem getting rid of Cat to get no problem. And guess what, Mo? The reason why I asked this question is because I couldn't wait to see your response. Because you know why? Because it would financially make sense, and they could do it mid-season. They literally
and the Knicks get better exponentially.
They would immediately,
instantly. But again, that's why I wanted to throw it out there, and I was waiting to see what Mo was going to say. Jay, how you see it? Because I think this is a play for the Knicks to get him. Honestly, this is what I think.
I think Joker been playing that Public Enemy. He's looking at the owner like wicked man. Can't trust it. No. He has no faith in the Denver Nuggets organization.
That's right.
He's won a championship with them. They've moved players out. They fired a coach, mid-season, or they kept the coach too long that he didn't like. Either way, he has no faith in what they're doing. And to turn down the extension, 3 years out, he thinking like, man, I get like another MVP or two. What's my value then? So why am I going to sign for low dough 3 years out? Let's see how this thing goes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he may end up being there, but he ain't trying to sign a bad contract to where he's some kind of value, for the team.
That's right. I'm gonna throw my Pelican brief out there right now, so y'all can't say I'm crazy or not, because I kind of hinted toward it just now. The way I see it, and to me, the writing's on the wall. I think he's giving the Denver Nuggets literally a year, one season, and I think he's going to then demand that he gets traded to a couple of places. But the best play, and I looked at all the teams, and schedules, and the position where he could go and where they take away and they lose and they gain at the same time, and not lose anything, and it'd be a one-on-one equal trade, and that makes sense mostly for the New York Knicks above everybody else. You'd have to get up Karl-Anthony Towns and you get Jokic, and the team gets better without them having to give up too much. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to me,
Right.
it makes the most sense.
Right, but Joker, I would give them Cat and Brunson.
Yeah,
and I'm not being facetious.
I know.
I would give them both of them.
But you don't have to, though.
No.
But you don't have to. Mo, relax. They don't have to. Mo, relax. They don't.
I know they don't have to, but I'm trying. He was doing all right. He sound like me when I be talking to all of a sudden I was talking about start pimping or selling drugs. You just went over the deep end. You just jump for no damn reason.
No, listen, I would give up both of them.
You sit there knowing you got three. You sitting there knowing you got three in the possible. You're gonna bid a 5. Come on, man.
Don't worry about it. He just was saying how.
But Mo, I got 1 diamond and 2 hearts. You know what I'm saying? I got 1 diamond and 2 hearts, baby. I'm cutting some stuff.
So anyway, moving right along.
Let me move on. I just want to throw this out there because I have a Pelican briefs every now and then, and that's one. That's one. I think honestly, if Joker commands his way out, I literally can see him land on.
But I want to say this before you change the subject. It's good for New York, and I'll take it.
He makes sense though for the Knicks.
But always remember, San Antonio is in the lurkings.
Yeah, but the problem with San Antonio is they would have to give up a player who's in the same position as him, who they won't want to give up. You'd have to give
in
up
the same conference. Denver ain't gonna trade in conference. They ain't gonna make sure they got the seed.
You're right about that. You're right.
That's right. And let me throw this out there too, so you all can think of this too. If he comes to the Knicks, right? Then he's almost guaranteed to get into the Eastern Conference Finals, whereas he still has to battle his way through the gauntlet of the West. You know what I mean? He gets
way easier road over here.
Yeah, if he goes to the Knicks, it's a great deal for him because now who's going to stop him? The Celtics can't stop him. The Sixers can't stop him. The Cleveland Cavaliers won't be able to stop. Detroit Pistons will be with the Knicks. With him just on the Knicks, you take him out and swap a cat. It's just like, okay, now the Knicks are going to the finals. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That it makes the most sense.
The only legit big in the East is a part-time player, Embiid.
Right.
He on the shelf all the time.
Right.
He ain't part-time. He on call.
He's seasonal. He's a seasonal worker.
He on call.
All right, so
he load trucks and UPS during Christmas time. That's it.
Speaking of these crazy contracts, Devin Booker just signed a crazy contract, Howie, which I didn't like it. You know what I mean? He signed a contract. I didn't like it because he signed a contract for $145 million. For those of you out there who don't know, it's a 2-year, $145 million contract extension with the Phoenix Suns, keeping him in Phoenix. He stays there to 2030, and he's trying to stabilize the Phoenix Suns. But again, now you got another player who's maxing out, is getting ready to push, the team to that point where they can only have a handful of players because why? The second apron is going to kill you. The second apron is going to kill you. So, yeah, how you feel about that?
Well, I mean, Phoenix got to keep somebody. They can't let everybody go. I mean, they got to keep some kind of stability or some kind of, foundation to the team, man, or else they fall all the way apart. You know what I'm saying? So right. I don't know if it was the money wise, was it too much or this or that? I don't know, but they needed to keep Devin Booker, that's for sure. So I'm not mad at Phoenix for keeping him on the squad, man.
Yeah, I'm not really that mad either. What's your take on this, Mo?
I mean, listen, his job is to get paid, man. Phoenix wanted to give him that bread. Who else was going to give it to him?
Right, but does Phoenix strap themselves? They just lost Kevin Durant. Does Phoenix kind of strap themselves by giving him this $145 million contract?
You know what, Frank? This new second apron, you know what I'm saying? The bibs and the pacifiers. I don't know all the stuff, the terminology. I just know he got paid, and I got to study up on this because I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with it. If Phoenix shot themselves in the foot, they pulled a Plaxico, then who they gonna blame?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. How you look at it, Jay?
I look at it like he's their best player. He's their only legitimate superstar level player, and you got to pay the man.
Yeah,
because that's what it costs to be in the game.
That's what I'm saying. Be the boss, right?
You don't listen. You don't sit down at the 25,000 blackjack table and complain about the 25,000. That's what it costs.
That's right.
So pay the man.
100%. 100%. So the next story, right? I couldn't wait to talk about because it's very interesting. We talked about SGA, right, a couple of days ago. Then Chet Holmgren ended up signing a 5-year, fully guaranteed maximum rookie contract. For those of you sitting at home, SGA signed the contract. He got extended to $71 million a year, right? Now you got Chet Holmgren for $250 million for 4 years, I think it is. I'm gonna have White Talk look it up. But regardless, now you got 3 players because the other third player on their team now also signed a max contract. So remember how we were talking about how good OKC is gonna be for years and years and years? Well, they just maxed out these dudes, their top 3 guys with these contracts is gonna push them in the apron at the end of next year too. So now, even though they got a whole bunch of free agents, first round draft picks, they're gonna have to rotate some of these players. And will they be able to keep, their star 2 or 3 too, Howie? So, I want to throw this out there too. And now that you see all this money coming across, and see what you thought.
That's a lot of money being thrown out right now, man. I don't know what's going on this year. I see a lot of good contracts coming in. I don't know, man, to really be honest. You know what I'm saying? But a fully guaranteed 5-year minimum rookie contract, hey, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to think, because everything is so fluid right now. Everything moves so fast. Should he have signed a deal for 5 years?
Well, are you asking if it's, or you just,
I'm just hypothetically, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't know. My mind is still open on that. Like, I'm not sure whether that was a good deal or not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So from my perspective,
go ahead, Howie.
So what I'm saying is, it's a lot of good deals being given out right now. A lot of things going on right now. So this may work out to be a good thing, or maybe not. So I'm just not, exactly sure.
Okay. Mo, the reason why I throw it out there is because I think that I don't think you all are coming from the angle that I'm trying to push you all to this angle. I think all the NBA teams are sooner or later about to have all these dudes on super max contracts. You know what I mean? And I think then it's going to create another bigger problem that I think the owners ain't got no problem seeing it come to, but I don't think the players are seeing it yet. And I'm going to say this now, Mo, that eventually the CBA agreements and stuff they're going to try to do is going to bust, because then they're going to be mad because they can't move. You know what I mean? Like that they're all going to be pressed and have their backs against the wall because, the CBA only going to allow the team to make so much and pay so much. That's what I'm trying to get to. What you think, Mo?
So you're trying to say, be careful what you ask for. You just might get it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So give everybody what they want to let them know. Are you doing the Brewster's Million right now?
That's a great analogy. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
for those out there who don't know what Brewster's Million is, give me a second, Frank. Brewster's Million is a movie with John Candy and Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was the star. He was inherited $300 million. But in order to get the $300 million, he had to spend $30 million in 30 days. His great-great-grandfather wanted to show him how much he would hate money.
Yeah.
Get what you asked for. You just might get it. I don't know what to say. All I know is one thing. The strip club is live and popping in OKC now, boy. On the max contract, everybody throwing it up.
Yeah, so my people gonna get paid. Some people gonna get paid. Jay, I know you always got another angle to look at it and take it. What's your take?
See, y'all looking at this from a fan perspective. I want my team to win. I need my team to be good. I'm looking at it from the businessman perspective. Run them boys they money. You know what I'm saying? Because the salary cap is owner imposed. If the owners want to win, then expand the salary cap to make it to where you can pay more people and accommodate more salary. But don't expect that they know the short to come in on the player side. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never going to be talking about winning matters, all this stuff. No, bro. Nope.
Okay, but Jay.
Nope.
But Jay, this is my point I'm trying to make. And I want to see if you all can come with me on this one, right? It is owner imposed. I 100% agree with that, right? But the players agreed on that. You know what I mean? Correct. The players did that with the collective bargaining agreement. Correct. So if you push that to them and you say, hey, I'm going to give you 51% of what TV revenue and everything else we make, everything. I'm gonna throw that
400 ways, right?
Right,
yeah,
right. And then you all split it and everything else. But hey, we can only pay out so much money. But you agreed to that. Tell me that's not throwing, like, literally throwing it up in your face because you agreed to it.
And then what's going to happen?
But listen though, Frank. So here's the issue on the business front, and this is why they have newspapers, be favorable, to owners. It's bad business for the players because the players, they get 51%, but that's going 400. That's going 400 different ways. Right. The owners got 49%, correct? Right. And that's going how many ways? 28.
28, 30.
And you want the 400 to eat whatever that difference is. They already getting less. It's already being divided up, amongst them.
You said what I'm saying?
So if anybody can absorb it, it's the owners.
Yeah, but you said the key phrase. It's bad business for the players. That's the point I'm trying to push to. That's the only point.
It's bad business for the players.
It's bad business for the players. The players agreed on the CBA. The players agreed that they can make so much money on the cap. The players agreed on the second apron. The players agreed on everything. And the owners giving the hoodwink, saying, hey, this is where you at. You all agree?
No. Right here, it doesn't matter because they still getting 51%. What I'm saying, it's bad business for a max player to say, I'm not going to take the max. That's bad business.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's bad business, bro.
Yeah, I guess we both saying the same thing. Yeah. All right, we're just saying it differently. Okay, so
open.
So Howie, I'm gonna take this out and I'm gonna throw this now. Here's the next thing that I thought was interesting too. Speaking of owners and ownership, I just found out today. I don't know if you guys happen to see this, but I thought when the story came out that Jeannie Buss was going to be the governor for years and years, the story came out today that she's only going to be the governor of the new Los Angeles Lakers for the next 5 years. And it seems like some of the players and some of the fans are having issues with Jeannie Buss only being the governor of the Lakers for the next 5 years, and they're having issues with that because they want her, and some of their management and people like that to still have some say so. How are you feeling with Jeannie Buss being out sooner rather than later?
Wow, that sounds like these new owners are phasing out that old Laker,
right?
Cloth, man. Yeah, this 5 years is a phase out period.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take her 5 years to clean out her office. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it, man. You know what I'm saying? All of the things they got to do and the goodbyes and all that. This is it, really. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this says to me. This says that the new ownership wants to clean the slate and they starting over. They don't want anything old associated with that, and that makes sense. Sometimes, man, it's okay to say goodbye and do it peacefully in a transitional way, as opposed to get the hell out of here. Sometimes it's cool to do it this way, and I think it's cool. But yeah, this means she's on her way out of there. You know what I'm saying?
It might be good business too. You know what I mean? Maybe we looking at the new owner, and a different light because he did that. He does own the Dodgers. You know what I mean? His name is Mark Walter. He does own the Dodgers. Maybe he's trying to bring over some new stuff. And listen, the Dodgers won a world championship last season. You know what I mean? And they literally on paper right now to bring in another one. For those of you following baseball, they're one of the best teams in baseball. So maybe him bringing over, some of the stuff that he's over there, maybe it's a good thing. Mo, how you look at it? You look at it like a good thing that he's phasing out some of the old ownership, because the old ownership only won a championship in the bubble. They ain't even not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The bubble.
Yeah, it's a good thing, man. He ain't spend no money to sit back for somebody else to run the ship. Yeah. They already had their chance. You know what I'm saying? Spend all that money. It's time to go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we like you. We love you. We're going to give you 5 years. But that 5 years really probably going to be 2 if it's that long. Jeannie going to be gone real quick. And all the people that got a problem with it, you need to let them know that there's only one thing in this world. One thing in this world that's going to be consistent, and that's change.
Yeah, I like that. He got the quote of the day because that's true. Jay, how you looking at it?
Hey, once again, Jay got to come in here and shine that flashlight, baby.
Yeah.
Jeannie Buss will be 64 years old this year. Her family has owned the Lakers since 1979. She just made $10 billion in the sale of that thing. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I think it's 5 years because Jeannie probably said, I'll give you 5 years and I got to get up out of here, man. She ain't she got $10 billion to go spend. You cannot take advantage of that money if you still got to run the day-to-day 365 for the Lakers. Jeannie got trips to take and BBCs to climb up on top of her hips go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
He told the truth. And she got generational wealth to try to spend.
While her hips still good, bro, she got to get it in. You know what I'm saying?
Got to get it in.
Last question before we do these top fives, man, because I can see some of the top fives. Let me just ask you this, man. How you feel about how you feel about this DeAndre Ayton signing, man, yesterday? Because DeAndre Ayton literally came out and said, honestly, he said, this is the best thing that's happened. I'm glad to be in the same on the same team with Luka Doncic. I'm very excited. He just showed out. You know what I mean? I was like, okay. So his exact quote literally is, "This feels like a video game, like somebody set it up." And for those of you who don't know, he came out in the same draft, literally 7 years ago. He came in the same draft as Luka. You know what I mean? He was the number one pick, and Luka was number 3. Yeah. So now they both playing together, and Luka is the better player, and he's looking like he's, you know what I mean? So how you taking us, Howard?
I love it. I love it, man. Like, big things for the Lakers, man. Listen, bro, that's inspiration for LeBron, bro. That's inspiration for LeBron, bro, to say, you know what? Let me put some more gas under my ass, and let me see if I can make one more hardcore, unadulterated run at a championship. I got some boys behind me now that we can probably put this thing together if we can really buckle down. We just need 1 or 2 more people that can give us a consistent 3 from somewhere or some defense from somewhere, and they could probably do something, man. They could make it look cute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. I will say this, though, Mo. I'll say this, Mo. A motivated DeAndre Ayton should scare some people out west.
Absolutely. He's talented, man.
Yeah. Am I right or wrong, Mo? What you think?
Yeah, he's talented, but every team needs a Chris Bosh, Al Horford, happy to be there, because it ain't going to happen nowhere else with me. I'm not saying he ain't talented, but he wasn't going to happen nowhere else. I'd be happy, too. I'd be clicking my heels like Dodge and everything else, trying to make it, man, pinch me. Is this real? I'd be happy, too.
Yeah, I can see you saying that, too. But Jay, a motivated DeAndre Ayton, last time he was motivated, the Phoenix Suns went to the finals. You know what I mean? So... Mm-hmm. So I don't know, Jay. Talk to me. How you look at
it? I told y'all from day one, I love that trade with him going to the Lakers.
Yeah,
I was like, he made nothing but sense to go play with LeBron and to play with Luka. Yeah. And now it seems like he's motivated. Now my concern was I don't know which one we gonna get.
Right.
Or we can get the dude in Phoenix, who was really balling out, doing his job, wasn't pouting and crying, or we can get that dude who was in Portland that they was happy to buy out, and send packing. Right. So it sounds like maybe he has the right mindset, because Bron gonna push you, bro. Mm-hmm. You can't play with LeBron and be half-assing. So it's a benefit for him and for Luka. So I expect great things out of Lakers next year.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait. I can't wait to see a Dallas Mavericks versus LA Lakers. Like, I can't wait to see that, because the Lakers now with Luka and DeAndre Ayton and LeBron versus Dallas with AD and Cooper Flag and Kyrie Irving, that would be a hell of a game to watch, because it would be live city on both ends of the team. You know what I mean? That's gonna be that ticket right there is gonna be expensive, and it's gonna be on ABC. You could best
and it's gonna be worth it too.
Yeah. You could best believe that. So y'all ready for the top 5? Let's get ready to get these top 5 things.
Let's go.
Football and Howie, you got your because I know Howie, I know you did your homework on this, but get ready for me, Howie, because Howie is a Detroit Lions fan. Give me the top 5 things Dallas Cowboy fans are prepared for this upcoming season, besides crying, because I know we gonna they gonna look at you, Howie, you're a
hater. I've been saying though, man, that Dallas gonna have a good year this year, bro. I've been saying that all along, and I really do believe that, but what are the fans prepared for? That's the question, right?
Right.
Right. What are the fans prepared for?
Yeah, what are the fans prepared? Not the team. What are the fans prepared
for? Right. Yeah, that's a whole different ball game there.
Yeah.
So, the fans are probably gonna be prepared for a sad season, and no matter what I believe, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, what I'm thinking, what reality may be, are 2 different things. You know, so I just think the Dallas fans be prepared. I win, lose, or draw. I love you guys, man. Just be prepared to be disappointed, one way or another. I think that's one thing, but maybe not. Now, here's the thing: they got to play. If I'm not mistaken, they got to play. Because I got this right here. They got to open up the season against the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, Lord have mercy. Okay. Thursday night football against the Eagles. They got to open up the season. So here's the thing. Fans, Dallas fans, be prepared for 42-13 loss. Now, this does not mean that the season is done. This don't mean that. But the Eagles are coming out after the Super Bowl to try to prove a point that they can return. They're going to beat the shit out of you. I'm sorry, excuse my language. Thursday night football, the Eagles are going to come out on fire. And you better believe that Dallas is not going to be ready. So fans, just be prepared for a loss on Thursday night football. Open week. Matter of fact, I'm putting my money on the Eagles. That's for sure.
$35, $35,
$35, baby.
$35.
Hey, look, I might do a parlay this time. You know what I'm saying? Figure something out. You guys might get to the playoffs, like I said, but don't be sad if you lose. Don't be sad. You know what I'm saying? But I think the silver lining is that the Dallas Cowboys will get to the playoffs. But fans, don't be like, we going to the Super Bowl. Don't do that, man. Because this may not be that year, even though I think you're going to have a good year. But don't believe me. But be very, just be prepared, man, to not go far if you get to the playoffs. And the last thing I would say, man, is fans, be prepared for your owner to be gone sooner or later. And that may be a good thing or a bad thing. God bless his soul. But when he leaves, the silver lining is you're going to get better.
Oh, hilarious.
As soon as he's gone.
Yeah.
It's like getting rid of McMillan.
Well, give me your 5, because I know you had fun putting this together too.
All right, top 5 Dallas, baby. Number 5, Dallas fans are prepared for Jerry Jones to blame everybody when they lose but himself. It's the coach's fault. It's the quarterback. We paid too much money. Shouldn't have did this, shouldn't have did that. And don't ask me those questions on my radio show.
Okay.
Number 4, they prepared for Jerry Jones to sit back and talk like he an NFL guru or genius, like he really knows what he doing. When he don't. That's what they prepared for. They prepared for Dak to be Dak.
Yep.
That's all they can just say. Dak is Dak. That's it. They are also prepared to hear Stephen A. Smith after every damn loss that they have. The lowest ratings for ESPN always happen the day after Dallas lose a game. And the one thing, I don't know, I might be saying, they might say I'm cruel, but I think they're just waiting for Jerry Jones to die.
Yeah, possibly.
I didn't want to say it like that.
They're like, this is going to be the year. They got 2 bets at the bar. A, we're going to win the Super Bowl. B, is Jerry going to die this year?
Okay. I like yours. I like your 5. I like your 5. Jay, give me your 5.
I think that Mo and Howard was on my homework, man. Number 5, they are preparing for losing. They gonna sound confident, but deep down inside, they are prepared to take them L's.
Yeah.
Because this has been their life for 31 years. This is what they know. They ain't done nothing since. Number 4, they are preparing to watch Stephen A. Texas two-step in a 10-gallon hat in December. He gonna have the cowboy hat on, and he gonna be doing it.
Yeah.
Every December, like clockwork. You can count on it.
Yeah.
Number 3, they are preparing to cry about how much Dak Prescott sucks.
Yeah.
Even though he don't go out there and have to tackle nobody. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If Dak put up 35 and you give up 50, that ain't Dak's fault. Okay?
That's right.
Let's stop this. Number two, they are expecting to lose spectacularly in the playoffs. If they make it.
Spectacularly.
They gonna lose in a spectacular way. Either it's gonna be a blowout, or they can do something so stupid that they hand it to somebody. But it's gonna be spectacular. And the number one thing that I'm saying, they are definitely waiting for Jerry Jones to turn into dust.
Yep, I agree with that.
Jerry Jones is about 15% dust right now. And they waiting for him to get on up out of here.
I got to say, you all had some great fives, but y'all great fives. I like your great five. All right, so now with that being said, Howie, you know I got to give you the top 5 things that the Chicago Bears I prepared for, the fans I prepared for.
Oh, man.
You know, the Bears fans, you know, it ain't as bad looking for the Bears fans, I don't think.
I know how we struggled to write this.
Yeah, right.
That was so hard for him to say bad things about the Bears.
Right.
Well, let me tell you something about those great Chicago Bears in the NFC North of the NFL. If I can use my old NFL Films voice, in the old dusty, cold Chicago Bears Soldier Field, the Lions and the Bears go take on each other for the 100th and millionth time. This year is not going to be any different than last year. I don't give a damn if they got our damn offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson. What's going to happen is they're going to get swept again by the Lions. That's what the fans need to look forward to. Number one, I don't give a damn if you got one of our coaches. Number one, that's number one. We look forward to just because you got our coach, that don't mean you're going to win. That's number one. Number two, you're going to get swept again by us. That's number two. And I'm not even reading my list. This is just me going off the top of my head of what I feel. And what's going to happen to you guys. Well, hold up. Number three, be prepared for another year of disappointment, you losers. Chicago Bear losers. Y'all been talking trash to us for a long time. You only got one Super Bowl, and that was in 1985. And I was in the 9th grade. So I don't want to hear about that. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to tell you is this. Losers, y'all about to lose. You got Ben Johnson, think he gonna do all that trickery stuff? You don't have the same personnel. Your quarterback not good enough. Look up, what's his name? What's this dude's name? What's his name? Khalid Williams? Ain't that his name?
Yeah.
Hey,
loser. He's not gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You got to look forward to him being a loser with his curly hair, a fake you know,
how are you enjoying this segment?
I mean, I'm loving this.
I told you, it's a hard segment for him, man.
What's my quarterback's name? Fake Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah, they're going to be losing. No, they ain't got nothing to look forward to. Your defense is going to be half-assed. Look forward to that. Look forward to a very long, cold, wintry season of losing.
Okay, all right, Bo. Give me your 5 reasons why the Chicago Bears are prepared for the fans are prepared for this season.
You expect me to follow that shit?
I'm sorry.
You expect me to follow that?
I'm sorry.
The Giants are gonna be better than the Bears. You losers.
He enjoyed that segment. He enjoyed that segment too much, Bo, didn't he?
Top 5 for the Bears. Bad defense. I got that down. They're gonna have a horrible defense. They're gonna complain because they're gonna complain. Number 4. They're gonna complain about that $48 million they signed that boy Dayo. What's his name? Dayo? I can't say it. But they gave him $48 million. And he ain't gonna be what they need in that pass rush. Number 3, they are prepared to either like, hate, or love all 3 at the same time, or depending on what happened, Caleb Williams. What I don't know. It could vary. According to Howie, it would probably be hate more than anything else.
Yeah, it probably will.
Number 2, be ready for mad folks coming down from Asheville, North Carolina. That's where Ben Johnson is from. That's where my family is from. Them fools is crazy up there. And he go to Chicago, man, they ain't. I don't know if y'all been to Asheville, North Carolina. Google it. They get it in up there. And then once they realize all the people from Asheville, North Carolina, be ready for Chicago to ship his body back to Asheville, North Carolina when they kill him.
Damn, Mo.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. Go ahead, Jay.
Damn. So the question is the top 5 things Chicago Bears fans are prepared for this upcoming season.
That's right.
Number 5, they are prepared. Gun to their head, and they will admit it. They are prepared to finish last in the division. They're prepared for it.
Yep.
They're not better than anybody in their division. I don't care. I don't care if Jim McMahon walked into that locker room right now, bro, with Walter Payton. They finishing last, okay? Number 4, they are preparing to field and deflect jokes about their quarterback and his nail and toenail painting.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Oh, it's
You
coming.
can do that if you're winning. But you can't listen, twinkle toes and all that stuff is coming, bro. So get ready to bounce all that off. Number 3, they're preparing to make excuses that they just got their coach and there's too many new players, so we really couldn't get it all together right away. They're already formulating that stuff right now. And then number 2, this is what they're really preparing for. They're preparing to argue about whether or not Chicago deep dish is better than New York pizza.
Yep.
Because the Bears knew what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They gotta go with an argument where they got some ground to stand on. You know what I'm saying?
But wait, they don't even eat the deep dish in Chicago. That's for the tourists.
Is that true?
I'm dead serious. Chicago people, I know. Come on, Mark Simmons told me that, Howie. They don't eat deep dish pizza. That's for the tourists. That's how they know you from out of town.
All I know is that all I hear about deep dish is bad New York pizza. And I'm like, I beg to differ, but hey, I go on. But number 1, and this is the biggest deflection ever, they're preparing to trot out Sammy Sosa as a new white man. To let that be the conversation, to not talk about that they are finishing last in the division again.
Wow. You all tore a whole new one to the Chicago Bears fans. Like y'all ain't right. Y'all ain't right. All right, let's see if we go to the next one kind of rather fast because I want White Chocolate to come in and give us our mistakes and what we did. Howie Bell, this means you got to get me your top 5 things the Cleveland Brown fans are prepared for this season, and not as long as you did the Bears because you enjoyed the Bears too much.
You know what? And I like the Browns, but they deserve damn near almost the same thing that the Chicago Bears got.
You're losers!
I want to say this because I'm not going to take too long and I won't give it too many, but I will say this because I do like the Browns, all jokes aside.
Yeah.
But I don't like their quarterback situation, bro. And I think the fans better start being prepared for some type of controversial quarterback year. They got like 4 or 5 quarterbacks, bro. Or some craziness like that they're trying to compete for. Wait out there. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. 4. That you're trying to say, hey, who's going to do this? Who that? Usually teams get 2, and then they start winding it down to the 1 by the time, in the preseason or whatever have you. They got 4, bro. That is a serious problem, man, and that's going to take up a lot of coaching time, practice time, a lot of valuable time, man, that y'all are going to spend trying to figure this out. Y'all better figure this out sooner than later because you get closer to the season. Now you haven't spent time on your defense, your line, your offensive line, your blocking schemes, your special teams. What are you doing? Y'all spending too much. Y'all about to spend too much time worried about this head quarterback job, which the whole team has to follow, man. The players want to know who's going to be our quarterback. Got to get that together, Cleveland. That's the biggest take, and I'm going to probably leave it right there. I'm going to say, look, man, get y'all quarterback and situation together. I'm really worried about that. Fans, y'all be prepared for a situation this year.
Mo.
All right, top 5. They prepared, number 5, they prepared for more people to visit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame across the street than to visit Brown Stadium.
You might be right about that.
Huh?
You might be right about that.
Keep going.
Number 4, they like how he said, they prepared to wonder who's the quarterback. You know, they sound like a kid in the office. Who's my father? Who's my daddy?
Oh, that's love. Ooh, that's love.
They prepared for Myles Garrett to do it. No matter what happened, Myles Garrett is going to do his thing.
That's the only player.
Not because just he's a great player. He mad as hell. He got to take it out on somebody. He can't beat the kids, can't beat his wife. He gonna whoop every quarterback in the NFL. He
can beat up old lineman.
Yeah.
If I would not want to line up against Myles Garrett. Coach, tell me you got to. Yeah, right. You bugging. You been drinking.
I'm a basketball player. What you got me out here for?
Trying to tell you.
Keep going, Mo.
They are buying number 13 brown bags as we speak by the caseloads. So they can put them over their head.
Keep going.
And number 1, they just trying to figure out how they can bring Drew Carey back to Cleveland. Hopefully somebody or John Hinton to do something to take the focus off of what's going to happen in the Brown Stadium.
Hilarious. Jay, give me your 5.
Number 5, they are preparing for life without Nick Chubb. And he mattered.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be real different, without that reliable running game.
Yeah.
Number 4, they are preparing for wall-to-wall Shedeur Sanders coverage. They gonna start covering when the boy bowel movement's kicking in. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
Shedeur. Number 3, they're preparing for the owner to step in and make Stefanski play Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
Right? Shedeur Sanders has the number 1 selling rookie jersey. And he's a 5th-round pick. Travis Hunter's 2nd. The number 1 pick is 3rd in camp. And I saw some dude in a business report write an article talking about fans may waste money buying a Shedeur Sanders jersey because he might not make the team. You think the owner gonna let the coach cut the dude with the number 1 selling jersey? You just bad at business, bro.
Yeah. Exactly.
And trust me, he ain't on the Browns because he bad at business.
Right. Yeah.
Number 2, they're preparing to see Stefanski and the GM hit the road.
Yep.
This is it. They up out of there. Straight up out of here. Like, in the NFL, a sack is a good thing. But in British speak, if you get sacked, you got what?
Fired.
Right? And the number 1 spot for me, the number 1 thing, I hope it don't happen, man, but it's a 95% chance. They're preparing to hear that Deshaun got butt naked in another massage parlor, bro. He just ain't gonna rehab regular, bro. He gonna go to another massage parlor. He gonna get naked again, trying to get another massage while laying on his back.
That's a great possibility, bro. A great possibility. Let me bring in White Chocolate. White Chocolate, talk to me. What we get wrong?
All right, so Howie was right. They do have 5 quarterbacks. He missed Deshaun Watson.
I missed Deshaun Watson.
So it's okay. To Jay's point, Jim McMahon. To quote Rick Pitino when he was president of the Celtics, Jim McMahon is not walking through that door.
Yep.
I have one on Jeannie Buss. There's 2 sources where the terminology is. One said remain his team governor for at least 5 years, and another one says at most 5 years. So it's a terminology issue how long she's going to be there, being reported. And I want to touch on Jokic. It says here that he was eligible to sign a 3-year, $212 million extension, but if he waits another year until next summer, he can sign a 4-year extension worth $293 million, which is an additional $81 million of extra security.
Yeah, but he's not about money. He's not about money. So yeah.
Stop that. He might not speak English, but he can count.
No, he might. But I'm saying in his last year, he said several times he wants to win because he's won so much. He's gotten so much money. You all do remember where he comes from. He comes from a 3rd world country. To him, he's got more money than God. So to him, he just wants to win NBA championships. That's where he's at now. But you're right.
And he wants to go back home because he didn't even want to stay here for the parade.
which was hilarious. Like, you don't want to stay here for the NBA championship parade? Like,
no.
no.
Yeah, he wants to go back home.
Yeah. I think he wants to go back home. I think he wants to create, maybe a league or something out there. And where's he from? Yugoslavia or something like that?
Yeah. Slovenia. No, Serbia. He's Serbian.
Yeah. But I wanted White Chocolate to come in here and obviously drop that news in on us, because of the simple fact being, I think that this Jokic thing, everybody's overlooking it. You know what I mean? It didn't really get too much play on the ESPN cycle. People weren't talking about it like that. And I think he's such a calm, cool, and collected dude. He's not trying to cause no waves, but I literally can see this dude opting out at the end of next year and causing tidal waves throughout the whole NBA, because people are like, where he going to go? I can see it. I mean, if y'all agree, you could agree. If you disagree, that's what I think.
He's signed until 2027. So yes, I think there's a real good chance.
But he has he could opt out at the end of next season.
At the end of this season or the end of next season?
Right. This upcoming season. By this time next year, by May of next year, he could opt out.
All right. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So once this NBA season is completely over and before the NBA draft, he could be like, you know what? I want to opt out. He can do that. And that's why.
And that's why they hate LeBron.
Right.
Because LeBron was the first one to not just re-up on that rookie deal.
Right.
He renegotiated. He gave himself that 5th year opt out.
Yeah.
Whatever. And everybody's done it ever since then. They hate him.
Right.
They hate him and Rich Paul.
Yeah. Nobody's like this since LeBron did it. And LeBron's the first player in NBA history to do that. But he also, which you all might, and I'm not even a LeBron James fan like that, but he also gave the NBA players the option and the ability to say, you know what? You don't have to be indebted so much. You can look at the landscape and say, if you want to leave, you can leave, because then you can become a free agent if your value is still high. If your value is not high and you opt out, that's stupid. But if your value is high, you get just as much money as you want, wherever you want to go. So I don't know, man. Y'all, if y'all want to, we got.
Can I just add one thing real quick? You guys touched on this before about trying to spread the players around to have the parity, but I don't see guys flocking to like Washington or wherever the Hornets play or whatever.
They won't. No.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is, they're signing these big contracts and the players agreed to the CBA, but it's not working the way the commissioner wants, because none of those guys are going to lower teams. They never get better.
Well, that's yet White Chocolate. So maybe that's the ultimate plan, to make really good players go to these deserts. You know what I'm saying?
But I disagree with
that. So everybody gets better.
I disagree with one statement he just said, is that I think the owners are still happy because now the players are not going into bad market teams, and there's parity in the league at the above level. You know what I mean? There's parity clear across the board. So I think that the owners are extremely happy, because who in the world, I don't think there's nobody here on this thing thought 2 years ago that the OKC Thunder was going to win the NBA championship, no matter who they got or who they drafted. I don't think nobody.
The owners are happy as long as the television contracts are signed, bro. They don't care about wins and losses. They really don't. They're really all Dolan. I'm telling you.
I think they do. And the simple fact being, where does the TV money contract end at? Where do people want to spend the most money at? As if it's the LA markets, the New York markets, it's those big tier markets that already have huge fan bases because they could charge the most for advertising dollars. And OKC, people who tune into OKC, they ain't charging big money there because they can't, unless OKC gets a national televised game. You know what I mean?
Which is why next year you're gonna have Shea fouling out in the second quarter in the playoffs, because they don't want them back in the finals, bro. They don't let them.
But it's a similar situation. Man, I grew up, of course, in Detroit with the Pistons. Man, we've always been like an undercard type of team. We never even really got a little notoriety until the Bad Boys and the Isaiah and all those guys, but playing against Boston and the Lakers and stuff like that, but even the Knicks for that matter. But we've always, even after that, we kind of fell back under the radar for a while, and then Chauncey Billups and those guys came back around, and Ben Wallace, and then we fell back under the radar. And so we're still one of those under market teams. We're not at all.
I agree with
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and what my point was real quick is the teams like Detroit, you know what I'm saying? These smaller market teams have to depend on the culture behind it. And the Detroit Pistons have a culture behind it. You know what I'm saying? That won't allow them to be too bad for too long. Because now they're starting to get back, better now again. Yeah, so it's just, you just got to have the culture behind it, man, to have, to give your, to give the association something to look forward to. Okay, so we can go here because of this. That's all.
Howard, you're saying
2004 was a long time ago, Howie.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's what it takes. We do it like every 15, 20 years. That's what we do.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, but even though that sounds weird, that's consistent for us.
Yeah, but you're still forgetting one big part thing right now. The commissioner and all those guys, they want the New York Knicks fans. They want the New York Knicks to be in the playoffs. They don't necessarily care if you make it. They want the Lakers.
They
to be
do.
In the playoffs.
Sure.
They want the
Miami.
Miami Heat. They want the big market. They're not happy with Indiana. Not happy with OKC. They're not happy with
Detroit.
San Antonio, Detroit. You go down the list of those smart market teams. Utah, when Utah gets to the finals, which they probably will in 3 years, 4 years, because the way that they're drafting, those players are really good. They're not going to be happy with that. They're not going to be happy with that. So I don't know. But anyway, we got to get it roll up out of here, man. At 6 o'clock, man. Let me roll this thing. Howie, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Hey, man, Howie Bizzell, HOWIE BIZZELL, Chocolate Sundays at the Laugh Factory this Sunday. 2 shows. Your boy Howie Bell. Come holler at me.
Howie's going to LA, y'all. Howie's going to LA. Mo.
MOE_comic, and this Saturday we're filming a Tubi special for all the Boston comics. Me is 10 comics, 2 shows. This Saturday, first show morning at 6 o'clock, and I'm might be on the second show too. So come check us out. We're gonna be at RCC College.
I'm surprised I didn't get an invite for that. Okay.
I was gonna hit you up anyway. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. Jay, tell everybody how they can follow you.
At JD Hayes at Fan Base. I'm out here.
There it is. And White Chocolate.
Follow me and Frank on Boston Straight Shooters on Facebook and YouTube.
Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys who are sharing the show and everything. To gain 1,000 followers in a day is phenomenal. I really appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's definitely for Box Seats, man. Box Seats is doing it. Now, the next thing we got to do, y'all, we're going to come back at you all and let you guys know we're going to do a Box Seats show, and we're going to make this thing travel. We are definitely going to work towards that. We'll let you guys know as we plan it out. Thank you guys for watching, sharing, doing all that stuff. We greatly appreciate that. And we greatly appreciate you all continuing to do everything that you're doing that we don't even know about. So with that being said, we'll see y'all tomorrow, 5 o'clock. That's what we do, 5 to 6, Monday through Friday. Thanks y'all for watching. Peace.